Hello, I'm Laura. Today we are going to be talking about a couple of questions that have come in from our viewers who commented on videos that we have recently posted. The first question.
First, you should thank them.
Oh, thank you for watching this video and
For
posting the questions. And you hear my husband, you'll see me, but as with the other videos, you won't see my husband. You'll only hear him talking and responding to the questions. Okay?
I have an invisible cloak on like Harry Potter people. Don't they do that in Harry Potter?
Yes, in Harry Potter, they have an invisibility cloak. I'm surprised you remembered that. Okay, getting down to the first question here. How do you get rid of negative thoughts when you have them?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How do you deal with it?
Me? I start to say a decree immediately, or I change my thoughts.
How do you handle it before you found out about it?
Before, I don't think I ever did. Before I started learning about energy and
You ever did what?
I don't think
You
I
never had
ever
negative
changed. I
thoughts?
had negative thoughts, but I don't
okay.
think I ever changed them.
Oh, okay.
I would go to confession and say, "Oh, bless me, Father, for I have sinned." And then I'd just start listing the bad things that I thought and did.
Oh, got it. That makes sense.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what I did before. I don't know what I did. I probably cussed the people out. Is what I did.
I've heard stories of you cussing people out, so that doesn't surprise
probably
me.
did that, but I apologize, everybody, for. I apologize to all the ones that cussed out in the past. Anyway, so see, the point is that it's very normal not to know what to do, right? And you think that you don't know how to deal with these thoughts that come in. Now we have a lot of individuals that tell us, well, I don't know what to do, right? I don't know how to
Right.
handle them. And it must be tough. I don't know what it's like because it's been so long that we'd have that situation where we don't know what to do. That's why I have to hesitate for a moment as to how do you handle that. Well, as we know, when we're talking about karma, that what you put out is what you get, correct?
Right, right.
And it's energy. Everything is energy. Well, because we know everything is energy, then we can change the frequency of that energy. And that's the beauty of us. When we made the statement in previous videos that we're co-creators with God, that's what we mean, that we can change anything. You know, we think that we're these helpless beings or helpless souls, and that's the farthest thing from the truth. Why would God create us in His own image and make us helpless?
Right.
But we're creating His own image, right? That doesn't make much sense.
And you also mentioned how even Jesus said, all these things that I have done, you can do as well and more.
Oh, I did?
Yes, I would think that was back in one of the karma videos.
Oh, okay. But He did say that, you know.
Right.
So again, I don't think Jesus had too many negative thoughts. I don't know if he had any, but
Knowing it's Jesus, I don't think he did. Well, maybe when he was tossing the people out of the temple,
oh, that's
the
right.
tax collectors
See, there
and all the
goes more.
merchants, maybe that was his moment.
So get a whip and whip them. That's what you do. Based on Jesus' example. It goes to show that, see, even Jesus had a weak moment there. I don't know if it's a weak moment, but you know, he got upset for sure.
Correct as Jesus?
He probably spent a lot of time on that one. You're like, oh, why did I do that? But we understand why. Again, it shows you that sometimes there are very good reasons for us to get upset, you know, or feel frustrated, or at least in our minds, there are very good reasons. And actually, even in Jesus' example, it's not a very good reason to do what he did. You know, if you were to go back and ask Jesus that back then, he'd probably say, no, that was not a good idea. I really shouldn't have done that. More than likely, he would have said that. But at that moment, you know, he was quite upset about what they were doing.
Right.
So we all have those moments, how do they call it? Heated moments? Moments of heat?
Right, and people normally say heated moments
Heated
or...
moments.
Right.
Weak moments.
Weak moments.
Right.
Moments of weakness, right.
Moments of weakness. Where we might just lash out or do something and then think about it afterwards and say, oh, that was not a good
shouldn't have
idea.
done it.
Right. So those ones are tough, but then you have the ones where you could be by yourself and you're thinking thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And those you're trying to figure out, how do I handle those?
Yes.
Which ones are you referring to? Which one are you referring to? Is it both? or just-
It's both.
Okay.
The person who sent the question, though, was asking more so they're sitting there thinking out about a situation and a person, and negative thoughts are coming out about that person because of the situation.
Oh, okay.
So how do you handle that? How do
Right.
you stop that
Right.
or negate
Okay.
it?
Well, to me, well, first of all, in one of the videos, we talked about how the Buddhists, they chant,
Right.
right? They teach you to chant all the time. Hindus, if you practice Hinduism, they teach you the same thing. Gregorian priests, they chant. Monks.
I don't know if they do it to get rid of negative thoughts,
Yes, that's the reason why they do that.
but to stay in a
Right.
holy state the whole
Exactly.
time, to constantly remain thought-free.
That's correct. That's why they do that. So the bottom line is that we should be thinking of positive things all the time. So that question more to me is more about, how do you think about positive things all the time? How do you stay positive? Not how you get rid of the negative thoughts, but how do you stay positive all the time?
Okay.
You do that by having a routine that keeps you away from negative things. That when they do come, you catch them and then change that frequency immediately, right? You do that through prayer. So depending on your faith, if you don't believe in God, then you might want to say affirmations. A lot of people do those, right? So you might want to say something, what would you say? I'm a positive person,
I'm a master of my positive thoughts.
right? Or something, we have one that goes, what? Thoughts, how's it go? Thought is a living force.
Thought is a living force.
I
I always use it wisely and productively.
Right. So let's say, for example, here you are, you're thinking, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, that was not a good thought. You switch it immediately, and you could start saying, thought is a living force. I always use it wisely and productively. And just keep repeating that until you actually start thinking that way. So whatever that thought was that you had, it's now changed, because you just changed the frequency by saying what you said until your system changed and your
Okay.
thought wave changed.
Now,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
So that's more of an affirmation.
Right.
That's more of an affirmation. If people pray, they could say a prayer from whatever faith they happen to be. And because I'm not familiar with a lot of faiths, I wouldn't know what to, of the prayers that they say in different churches, I don't know what to tell
Well,
them.
I think one that could go for a lot of Christians might be something to the effect of, I thank you, Jesus, for helping me to keep my thoughts positive at all times. And then you could even list the name of the person maybe you are thinking ill thoughts of. I think that might help some people.
I guess so. You could do that. Again, I like how you say, I thank, because that's what you should be doing, right? Thanking.
Yes.
Instead of saying, please help me think positively. Now, here's the thing. It's all about wording as well, correct?
Right.
If you're taking that approach. I've heard people say, I've talked to individuals, and I'll say, it's one of the first things we do when folks come to us for help with healing. We start helping them to change the way they talk, correct? Because that's very important.
Right.
Most illnesses, diseases, whatever the condition is, occurs because of stress. Then normally it's emotional stress of some kind. A lot of surveys have been done that prove that fact. Okay, you might have cancer, but when you really look at the cause, it has something to do with you, some emotional thing you're holding on to that has now manifested in the physical form. It always starts with the spiritual realm. So when you think about that, you want to have positive things around you. And the way you start that is by you verbalizing it. And the more you verbalize it, the more you verbalize positivity, then the brain starts to process only positive things.
Right.
But I've heard people say things like this. Let's say, for example, someone, and I'll bring this up because a lot of people have challenges with health, right?
Right, right.
Say if we tell them, okay, think positively, and they always have a headache, let's say, for example, a migraine of some kind. I was going to say, well, I woke up this morning, I was proud of myself because I made sure I kept telling myself, you're not going to get a headache today. I'm not going to get a headache today. I'm not going to get a headache today. Well, that's not positive. Why? Why is that?
Because you're using the word not, and that's what most people remember, not. And
Well,
that's what the body would
not
remember.
people, right? But
You're
it's been proven in many books in psychology that the brain doesn't really process not,
okay.
right? The brain doesn't process, it's strange how it works. It doesn't hear that thing. So when you say, I'm not going to get a headache, if you leave out the not, then it says what?
I'm going to get a
I'm going to get a
headache.
headache. And then you wind up getting a headache.
Right. Then you wonder, well, why didn't my mantra work?
Because it did exactly what you were saying it should do, right? It said, I'm not poor, I'm not poor.
Well, I'm poor, I'm poor, I'm poor
Exactly.
is what the brain.
That's correct. Instead of saying, I'm blessed,
Right.
or God has given me his unlimited abundance. See the difference?
Yes.
So, the wording is extremely important. Now, that's if you use the affirmations approach.
Right.
So you don't believe in God, anything like that. Or maybe you leave out the God part, just say, I am rich, I don't know. Somebody might say
I
that.
am
because they
thankful
don't
for my
believe.
ultimate wealth.
Right.
Okay.
I thank the universe for my abundance, something like that.
Okay.
Again, that's if someone just doesn't believe in God. They don't want to use a spiritual reference of some kind. Otherwise, I feel very sure that anyone that has a religious tie can identify with something, can pull out of their practice that is positive to say every
Yeah.
day. Now, for me, and like for us, we use something that's called the violet flame. And this for anyone that might want to use this. If you've never heard of the violet flame, you've probably heard the story of Moses when he approached a burning bush. And it's described as this bush that was on fire but
But it
didn't
wasn't
burn.
burning.
Exactly. Well, the reason why it didn't burn is because he saw the violet flame. The violet flame doesn't burn. It's one aspect of the Holy Spirit. It's not the Holy Spirit. It's only one aspect. It makes up the Holy Spirit. It's only one part of it.
Okay.
But that violet flame is known, and we've been taught that what that does is it burns away negativity. It burns away negative energy. It doesn't burn it. It transmutes it. It changes it from
Okay.
negative to positive energy. Okay, that's what the violet flame does. So then, if you learn how to use the violet flame, then every time you feel negative, every time you feel down or frustrated, you say a violet flame decree, right? Again, in the Bible, it's written, and I'll put in my own words, it's not verbatim, decree and so shall it be, right?
Right.
Just decree it, just say it, and then it's yours. It's going to happen. That's what it's written in the Bible. So when you do, that means you have to say it. That's what decree means, right?
Right.
You don't think it. It didn't say think it. It's like Jesus said thoughts or things. But now with the decreeing, it says decree and so shall it be. As in, you have to command it. You have to say it.
So you're thinking of it, you're speaking it, and therefore you're doing more internalizing of it?
Well, it gets to work, I would assume, because you say it, you're commanding it. You're saying, this is the way it's going to be. And then the angels, whomever else, they go and get to work to make sure that it happens. Because as it's written in the Bible, God gave man dominion over everything on earth, right?
Right.
Now, he didn't give us dominion over all things, but we've been told that as long as we decree something, the angels are more than willing to help us accomplish it. If you
Okay.
believe in angels. I know there's some folks that might not even believe in angels. I don't know. Anyway, so we use the violet flame. And there's a very simple one. We just go, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. That's it.
It's
you
very
know?
simple.
Very simple. Just, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. So what you're saying is, okay, I am this positive energy that gets rid of or that changes negative energy into positive energy, right? But at the same time, you're also what? The purity that God created you to be. And even though we know that we're not there yet, but by
Right.
saying it, we know we're going to get there.
We're putting it into action.
Exactly.
And therefore, by putting it into action, we'll start to feel the difference because of the energy that goes with that.
Hopefully. Mhm.
Okay.
And normally, what do we do? I let someone know, you don't have to believe any of this, right?
Right.
That's the beauty of it. And our faith in the Catholic Church, we're told that we have to believe, we have to have faith. Instead, you're taught, no, you don't have to believe, you don't have to have faith. Just try it. Document it for a certain period of time, a week or two, and see what happens in your life. Just document it. You know, and anybody, I give them the challenge. Start saying, and it should be said in multiples of 3, right? Just like the Trinity. Just say it, and I always tell individuals, say it until you feel better. So if you're thinking about something and it's making you feel bad, just start saying the decree and keep saying it in multiples of 3 until you feel better.
Okay.
Sometimes it might take a few minutes, sometimes it might take half an hour, sometimes it takes an hour. I've heard people told me it took an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, but they just constantly said it, and then all of a sudden their entire body just relaxed and everything was fine, and they felt better. No drugs, no alcohol, no cigarettes, you know, just to help them. You know, some people when they get stressed, they want a cigarette or
They want some kind of stimulant.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, a friend of mine who introduced me to the teachings called the violet flame the cosmic drug, right? Because it calms you down, but it comes from the universe. It comes from God, and I feel that to me, it's the easiest way of doing it. But again, if you're not comfortable with that, then just use an affirmation that's
Or a
positive,
prayer.
or use a prayer from your faith, whatever that might be. Just keep saying it and make it short, nothing long. No, make it short. I know my mom used to say the Lord, not the Lord's Prayer, what was that? The one,
The Psalm?
right, which one was that? The one like a valley of death? Though I walk through the valley of death.
Forgive me, I am
shall
not
fear
very
no
versed
evil.
in the Bible, so
one.
I could not tell you.
I forgot what it's called.
My husband would like to know if you think of it. Please go ahead and comment. Let us know
Right,
which
that-
psalm it
that
is
one.
from the Bible. But
Right.
most people are familiar with it because it's very popular,
It's very
especially
popular.
at funerals.
So my mom would say that, she'd read and when I was younger I would say that too, but it's long, right? So you have to read it a few times. Again, you just want to fill your mind, occupy your mind with positive things. And what better to occupy your mind with but something from the Bible itself, or whatever you read that keeps you close to some universal source, a universal truth of some kind.
Okay.
So that's how I'll answer that. I don't know if that answers your question. I hope that helps.
I think it answers the question, because to go along with that is the question of how do you get rid of negative energy that you feel or that is around you. And I think that goes hand in hand with what you just said, you know, by using the positive affirmations, using the positive prayers, or saying the decree.
Yes, it does, because again, a negative thought is negative energy. You know, we just call it a thought because you're generating it, or somebody could be generating it to affect you, but it's
Right.
still an energy, still a frequency. And by saying the decree, then you're transmuting that frequency or that energy from being negative to being positive. So I think that by doing one thing, you're dealing with both.
Right. I agree with that.
Okay.
And I think that's it to answer this topic.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to share this video with someone if you think it might help them. Like, subscribe. If you want to follow our Facebook group, you'll see the name of it down below, Clearing, Healing, and Guidance. And we will see you in one of these places.